Hello, hello. Okay, so this is the coaching component of our weekly meetup. I've changed it from doing the week ahead and recording the week ahead because you can just go get that on YouTube or in the Facebook group. I don't need to be going over it twice, but I will be going over the key points of the week. All right, so. Now, this week we have the new moon in Pisces, and it is not like any normal, passive, gentle Pisces new moon. It has got a freaking punch just before the new moon. So you will be feeling it. I mean, you'll still be coming from that really intuitive, like you know what needs to be done, guidance kind of place. Very much there could still be a lot of escapist tendencies. And this is just because we've got so much water. All right. So let's get into it. All right. So right now the moon is in Sagittarius. We've come out of a weekend of the Scorpio moon. And anytime we come out of a Scorpio moon, sometimes we can feel a little bit battered, maybe some empowerment. But here we are in Sag where we're looking at the bigger picture. We are seeking to understand more, you know, I don't know, you might want to have adventure, but right now I'm feeling like a little bit caca, so I'm going to go with the it's a little bit heavy. I've also had a couple of phone conversations today with people ringing me up and expressing how they're going through stuff right now. So I'm just going to go with it's a heavy week. All right, so we're going to move just straight to Wednesday. All right. So 1, 2, Wednesday. Let me just find the hours. That'll do. All right. So on Wednesday, we have, I love Hygeia. She's my patron goddess. And I think what I do is very important with her. Okay. So we're looking at our mental health and our well-being. All right. So Mercury is exactly conjunct Hygeia on Wednesday at 11:24, and then close after that at 12:43, so 1 hour and 40 minutes late, 1 hour and 20 minutes later, we have the Sun in Pisces in conjunct the South Node in Libra. All right, so Mercury in Pisces is very intuitive. It's a bit drunk. It doesn't quite know whether, I feel like Mercury in Pisces is a bit like we could easily be gaslit. We're a bit confused and unsure. Are we really feeling this? Is what I'm feeling valid, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, so we might be stumbling over our words. However, when it comes to Hygeia in Pisces and these two meet up, we could have an intimate and intuitive understanding about what it is we need to be doing to find a healthier place. All right. And this is it. We're all on a quest to be better, to be healthy and functional and happy and, all of those wishes, I guess, all of those fond dreams. All right. So now we might be able to find, in the words I wrote, we might be able to find some sort of holistic practitioner or the right person to heal us might come our way. If you are, um, if you are in life talking with therapists, Wednesday would be a great day to, maybe seek those alternate health practices. Hygeia is very much involved with Virgo and health, cleanliness. Yeah, I just feel like we're probably maybe guided to the right person, but as a caveat, it is very confused. So we might get a misunderstood diagnosis or miscommunication while talking to people about what it is we need. So I know, look, I always say there's a line, whereabouts on that line do you sit? Every planet and point has its good and bad, thing. So there we go. Mercury and Pisces, I've lost my words. All right, so we have that at Wednesday, 11:24. So again, be careful for escapist tendencies, but I just feel like it's a much more positive aspect because, like I said, an hour and 20 minutes later, we have the Sun in Pisces in conjunct that South Node in Libra. So this could look like us. I mean, we are making adjustments, all right? There is tension. and effort is required. But we are, okay, subconscious, all right, all of these old stories that we've been telling ourselves, you know, our childhood illusions, all right, those, you know, pre-7-year-old illusions that we carry through as reality in life. So, you know, this could look like you having an understanding how you maybe emulate your parents' relationship. And I'm saying that because it is the South Node in Libra about partnerships. So you could see how maybe you are being codependent. You could see how you don't have any boundaries in relationships because that's what you saw. That's what your inner child, or, you know, your inner youth thinks is reality when it comes to relationships. That's what I saw. That is the truth. And that is not the case at this time. Like I said, Mercury coming up to conjunct Hygeia, we understand what it is we need for that mental health and well-being. So the sun in Pisces allows us to release those things, all right? But again, you know, it does take effort from your core. It does take you going deep within and allowing this stuff to come in so you know what needs to be let go of. All right, so that is Wednesday. So conscious awareness is what is needed on Wednesday. Now, the moon is going to be in Capricorn, which is very beneficial for this. The moon in Capricorn is being ruled by Saturn in Pisces. So this Pisces mashup is just doing a number on us at the moment, especially because the sun has passed Saturn. So that took away, I mean, it gave us lessons to hold on to, but they're also something that, you know, it might just be slipping away from us unless we're holding on, unless we're being responsible, unless we're choosing like that conscious awareness. All right. So, and remember, guys, that it is going to be a bit of a time, at least for the next 11 days, as the sun comes up to conjunct Neptune. It's just going to get foggier, you know. So, I mean, yes, psychic potential, spiritual dreams, blah, blah, blah. But again, delusion, illusion, drug use, alcohol, institutions. You know, there is some very ugly stuff in Pisces. It's that guppy and the shark. All right. So yes, and at the same time, the moon is coming up to square the North Node and Chiron. So there is going to be some sensitive topics, you know, but again, in that realization, in that adjustment, you know, there is this. All right. So explore those old stories. That is Wednesday. All right, now Thursday. Let me go forward at 9:30 a.m. I'm actually starting to feel better as I speak. So, all right. Now, Thursday, Mars in Aquarius, sextile Chiron in Aries. This is awesome because Chiron is being ruled by Mars, and so it's a sextile, it's harmonious, they're working together, they're assisting each other, they're pushing each other on, just like a cog. You need to turn one cog and all the rest of them work together to get the thing moving. All right, so now, this is Mars and Aquarius, assertive action towards healing, especially if you've got masculine issues, all right? And, you know, that can also be very forceful women. It's just that aggression and drive, people being a cock. Anyway, so this does look like, because of the Wednesday's understanding and adjustment, it does look like we understand how the wound started and how it's impacted us thus far. All right, so as you can see, there's a lot of sort of realizations happening this week. We are residing in this Piscean headspace. So, you know, sitting and thinking is a very beneficial thing this week. I mean, we're probably going to get lost staring out the window anyway with Mercury. Mercury is now only 3 degrees away from Mercury on Thursday. So, you know, that what the hell is going on, intangible nature is just getting stronger. But like I said, you know, the feels are reals, and you can maybe share your findings with other people because with that Aquarius nature, that, you know, the group environment. So if you are having understandings about your wound, then maybe you can just reach out for help. All right. So it's, you know, it's beneficial. There's a sextile. All right. So that was Thursday. So Wednesday, Thursday this week, they're going to be the touchy ones. All right, so now I'm going to go forward to Saturday morning is the next one that is of something to pay attention to. And that real, I mean, it's not really anything to pay attention to, but it is when Mercury is conjunct Neptune. So we might not be able to hold on to reality. The dream state is going to be very strong. All right, so I don't know, you could lose yourself in a book or a movie or paint, get creative. If you are struggling with the intangible nature or the I have no ground to stand on, because the moon is going to move into Pisces at 12 o'clock. So we've got Mercury exactly conjunct Neptune, and then the moon moves into Pisces. So, oh my God, if you need to get stuff done, then remember your tools, all right? So, yeah, creative stuff. And then, you know, if you are struggling, do things like to-do lists, timers, or alarms, being, you know, asking someone for assistance, putting your hand up and saying, this is important, I have to get it done. Can you, you know, can you keep me accountable? You know, try to make for short periods of time of concentration. Don't expect you to you know, be able to sit down for 3 hours and you know, I don't know, study. I don't know. Anyway, you might be able to do that. My God, I'm hardly able to have a conversation with this much water in the air. But anyway, so that is Saturday, and we are leading up. So as soon as the moon moves into Pisces, we are pretty much feeling the new moon vibes. Yeah, it's not quite conjunct, but it is moving straight into a conjunction with Saturn. All right. So the realizations that we're feeling could feel weighty. However, because Saturn's in Pisces and we're doing all this digging into our past, it's the very strong foundations of understanding that we're seeing. All right. So that's actually quite helpful that we do have this realization that even though it might be hard, it's foundational and we are building new structures in our lives. You know, we've been talking about for the longest time the new path ahead. We're doing things differently. All right, so I know I'm talking very fast, but I'm going to go through to, I'm just going to go through a day. All right, so Sunday is the day. Oh my God, it is. All right, so it is pretty volatile on Sunday, if I may say so. So first up, Sunday morning, 9:23 a.m., Mars square Uranus. This is going to be exceptionally volatile. I do feel like this is going to be more on a global scale, although you might wake up having arguments. I mean, you know, there's a likelihood you might have a hangover or you might have overindulged on Saturday night. So you're waking up and you're not feeling great. But anyway, so Mars in Aquarius square Uranus in Taurus. All right, this could look like these, like Uranus is the innovation and Taurus just wants comfort and security and traditional values. Mars in Aquarius is like, no, I am going to fight for freedom. So this is where I was saying I feel like it's more global. We could have a lot of rebellion and fighting against you know, the government. They want to control our finances and they want to, you know, they're trying to destroy us and our way of life. I don't know, just blah 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 blah. So the next thing we have, only 14 minutes later, is the sun sextile Uranus. All right. So if there is some sort of cracking of the nut, some sort of volatility, some sort of fight for freedom, then that Sun sextile Uranus is only reinforcing the change that needs to happen. All right. So, you know, it very much people standing up for their dreams and their beliefs. You know, was it, oh my God, I can't think of the gentleman. I have a dream. Um, the black guy. Oh, I can't think of his name. Anyway, you know who I'm talking about. I'm not being derogatory. I just can't remember his name. Anyway, you know, we all have a dream to be comfortable, to be secure, to have our needs met. Maslow, you know, has our hierarchy of needs. Somebody has said it in the chat. Sorry, I'll look after the recording. You know, so just be aware that, you know, there could be some challenges, but if you break through, then so something will come of it. All right, the next one that's happening. So that was at 9:37. 3:03. So Mercury is at 29 degrees. It is now past Neptune. All right. So it's at 29 degrees, remembering the anaretic degree, the 29th degree, is the culmination of all of the learning of the previous degrees. So Mercury is going to be so psychic, so intuitive, so drunk, you know. So just the extreme of the Neptunian nature. You could be in a state of shock where you're speechless. Okay, so just, you know, there's a lot of potential here, but at 3:03 p.m., Mercury moves into Aries. All right. So when Mercury's in Aries, it now has a megaphone and it is willing to stand in a crowd and yell. It is willing to investigate, to dig deep, to get to the bottom of something. Remember, it's ruled by Mars now, and Mars is in Aquarius. So it will not sit down and shut up. It will not stand in the crowd and just blend in. It will stand there and fight because it's Aries for what it thinks and wants to communicate and believe. All right. So still a lot of belief in the air, but it's like, I am going to speak up and I will be heard. All right. So again, we've got volatility. All right. Then we have the new moon in Pisces at 8 p.m. All right, I'll just go to there. Right. So at 20 degrees of Pisces, it's just going to be full on. So even if you have a look here, we've got Saturn at 11. So there's only 9 degrees. And then we've got Neptune at 27. So the new moon is actually pretty much at the midpoint of the Saturn-Neptune conjunction that is happening in, I believe, January of 2025. Anyway, I can get to that later, but we've got this ideal and the hard work required. You know, they meet at 0 degrees of Aries. Saturn and Neptune both ingress into Aries at the same time. All right. So even if we're just looking at this lead up, you know, there's a lot of people out there that hold beliefs really strong. And, you know, there's a lot of people out there that want to crush them and bring them down. So with all of the shifts and changes of the morning, when we're setting our intentions with this new moon, because, you know, remember, it is the dark of the moon as well. So, you know, it is a quiet and contemplative space. You know, you could maybe have some anger or the directness of you know, you can direct your intentions well. Okay, so use that potential anger that you have to to burn away any fog that may be around at the time as well. So, you know, I mean, I do feel like there might be some anger in the air, you know, that people are trying to shatter my dreams. Whatever it is for you, you will, by the time that this happens, you will be able to speak freely and loudly and initiate new projects with fearlessness and embrace this new cycle. All right. So, and like I said, we're heading towards Neptune and we've just been past Saturn. So we know that we need to work hard to make these dreams a reality. All right. So was there anything else? Now, because I'm just going to do this as a record, like a small recording. Now, the things to ponder for this week. Okay, so big deep breath. Actually, I'll stop my share. Stop my share and go back to, I'll just make it me. All right, so things to ponder. What changes are you ready to embrace this week, guys? All right, you know, we're in a place where, you know, maybe our reality is being challenged and we've got to stand up. This is that, you know, the boundarylessness of right now. You're going to have to fucking work hard to put a wall up and believe that you deserve to have that wall up. All right. So what changes are you ready to embrace this week? Obviously, I'll put these questions in the chat. So what innovative with all the Uranian energy, new way can you approach these changes, and what are you letting go of to get there? All right. So now on Wednesday, we have that South Node experience where the sun is in conjunct the South Node in Libra. We see where our dysfunction lays in regards to relationships. We can call out and pay attention to the red flags that are.
Ooh.
Hi, Megs.
Oh, hi, sorry.
That's okay. So we've got that one happening. So the next question, what can you do to reinforce and stabilize these changes? All right, it's all good for us to go, I'm going to do this thing. Remember, I was saying with the Neptune Mercury thing, you know, we need to use all our tools. We need to put things in place so our future selves remember what we're thinking about right now. So I don't know, I've got a thing on my phone where I can send my future self a note. And I think that is something that we need to remind ourselves of. Man, get your sticky notes out, you know, put notes up around your house and journal, write, create, remember, you know, remember what you're feeling and why you want these changes to occur. All right. Next one. What strategies, here we go. What strategies can you implement so that you remain heard and continue to move ahead with your own self-belief? All right. Because ultimately, guys, we are the only ones responsible for ourselves. You cannot rely on anyone else in your life to get you where you want to go. Unless you're a child, you know, but we're not. We're adults here. We're big grown-ups. We cannot blame other people for our circumstances. And if we are, then we need to be realizing that we can actually do something about that and act upon our desires. Okay. So no more blaming victim status. Pisces is so victim orientated, but with all this Uranian, hell no, no, we see what we need to be doing. All right. Well, next question. What areas of life do you find it most difficult to express yourself? Okay. Self-explanatory, really. We all know where we're at right now. And the next one is, can you be specific about what it is that you are moving towards? Okay, so I mean, like I said, you know, the beginning of the week and the end of the week, you're just going to have a different viewpoint. Just with all of the releasing and change and blah 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 blah, you need to be very specific. Like I said, maybe the approach will change. Um, and you know, maybe if we do release things during the week, who we move towards with is going to change. I don't know. It's very much about getting clear on the things that are foggy and reinforcing and stabilizing and implementing and using your toolbox to get you where you want to go. So, big deep breath and just do your best this week. So like I was saying about the Mars sextile Chiron, maybe, you know, reach out to your support system, you know, that Aquarian nature. Very shortly Venus is going to move into Pisces, where she is exalted, but she's exalted and magical and unicorn-like and swimming with the mermaids, but she doesn't have the balls that she does when Venus is in Aquarius. So if there is something that you need to be doing that is a little bit more hardcore, or Xena, warrior princess, I mean, it's not Venus in Aries, but you know, it's Venus with a wider conscious, a wider reach, who gives a shit a bit more. I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I mean. So that is the end of the recording. I will stop this now. Hang on, let me find stop.